Mark has lost a lot of steam, and we're near the session's lows right now. Meanwhile, oil closing up 33 cents a barrel since learning a British oil tanker is believed to have been seized by Iran. This happening in the Strait of Hormuz in international waters. Of course, it comes just moments after President Trump hit back at Iran, saying that the U.S. Navy, without a doubt, shot down one of their drones. Joining me now, Margaret Thatcher, Center for Freedom at the Heritage Foundation Director, Nile Gardiner. Now, I want to remind the audience, this kind of stuff goes back. 2007, the HMS Cornwall was seized by Iran. The sailors were kept for 15 days. And I remember back then, and to me, it was an embarrassment to the West as the UK went to Brussels for help, really didn't get any help. And more recently now, the UK seems to be much firmer in its resolve. And so what do you make of this, how this whole thing is playing out?
Yes, Charles, certainly the UK is adopting a very tough stance towards Iran at the moment. You're seeing a bigger British military deployment in the area. The British are sending a destroyer to the Strait of Hormuz. And just in the last hour or so, we understand that a British-flagged oil tanker has been seized by Iran's Revolutionary Guard. And there is already an emergency meeting of the Cobra team here in London. All of the key intelligence and defense chiefs are meeting to discuss the latest incident in the Strait of Hormuz. And so Britain certainly is on high alert with regard to Iranian aggression. And it is vital that the United Kingdom and the United States stands up to any attempt by Iran to intimidate international shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. This is the latest act of saber rattling from the Iranian regime. But we are seeing certainly Britain adopting a significantly tougher stance than any other European country. Right. And certainly the UK and the US are closely coordinating efforts in the Gulf to combat Iranian aggression.
We've got just a minute to go, but to your point, you know, it's so frustrating. Even recently, in the last week or so, European leaders saying, hey, Iran, they're being bad, but they're not violating anything. Let's give them another shot. Are they emboldening Iran to continue these kind of belligerent acts?
I have to say the European Union's approach has been absolutely pathetic. And the EU is in full appeasement mode towards Iran. And hopefully when Britain leaves the European Union later this year on October 31st, Britain will move out of the Iran nuclear deal and join the United States in rejecting this failed, disastrous agreement. But it has to be said that the French and the Germans are doing what they do best right now, which is appeasing the Iranian dictatorship. They're not doing anything to confront Iran. We need to see all of America's allies in Europe standing up to Iranian aggression, joining with the United States in enforcing sanctions against Iran. But what we are seeing at the moment from Europe is the usual weakness and appeasement in the face of the Iranian threat. And this is deeply unhelpful coming from much of Europe today.
Now, Gardner, always a pleasure talking to you, even under these difficult circumstances. You're the one who helps us understand it the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles.